Hey, Janet, everybody loves a good story. So let's talk about a magical story that we were both part of here recently. You
I
know
would,
that I ran into some kids out of state. I was actually helping someone move, and they were helping those people move too. And in the process of helping someone move, we got talking about, hey, what do you do? What do you do? And when they found out that we help with mortgages, they said, hey, we're moving back to Utah in about a year when our residency's done, and we're going to need some help getting finding a home, getting a mortgage. And of course, I referred them to you because they wanted something really specific in a specific neighborhood. And I just said, you can find that for them. So what happened once I referred them to you?
well, I have to say that initially my gut reaction was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this is
Yeah,
impossible.
yeah.
So today's real estate market is very atypical. It's not normal and it's very, very competitive. And so being so specific, I thought there's no way. Like, that's just insanity. But then I was thinking about other clients and things that I've learned, education that I've taken. And I was like, you know what? This particular client came to my mind and I was like, it was a disaster because he was like, I'll look in any city, anywhere, and I'll look at a townhome, I'll look at a single family. So I literally helped him look for years and we never found anything. So when they literally, so you referred them to me and they said, hey, Janet, like, here's this map. And they texted me this map. This is the neighborhood where we would like to live. And I was like, no way. And I'm looking, and for like, I mean, I would say a good 5 years back, no one has been able to buy or sell in this neighborhood because it's very exclusive,
Okay.
very desirable, very exclusive. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I know real estate. And here's what I know about real estate, Scott, is that people and houses match. It is a magical experience. And I watched it for 17 years. And when someone knows what they want, isn't that easier? It doesn't that just make my job
Much
so much
easier.
easier?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, if they came and they drove around and they 100% felt all the feels and they were like, this is where we need to live, then surely I can do my job,
So,
right?
so how did you go about finding a home in such a specific neighborhood when someone draws a line and says, that's where I want to be? How did you do it?
So every day I networked. Every day at night, I would come up with a list of individuals, either from my database or my personal sphere. And then the next day, I would call, leave a message, or talk with them and say, hey, do you know anyone in this neighborhood who wants to sell that hasn't put their house on the market yet? And I did that over and over and over. I'm a part of a networking group there's about 50 plus business owners in the community. And I said, hey, any of you know anyone that you've serviced, that you've helped, that lives in this neighborhood? I need a house in this neighborhood. I participate in a women's group. I told all you ladies, anyone that you know, please let me know if anyone has the group in here. And then Caldwell Banker gives me this amazing opportunity. There's 118 other agents in my office. So every sales meeting, every opportunity, I was just talking and talking. And honestly, it was between 3 and 4 weeks. And I would get leads here and there, and they weren't exactly in the neighborhood, but we would give them a shot because they were close. And the client just kept saying, we just really want that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then finally, lo and behold, one of my coworkers said, hey, I hear you've been asking around about this neighborhood. And I said, I have. And she said, I think I can help you with that. I have some friends. They live in that neighborhood and I'm going to reach out to them. Maybe they can put it on the neighborhood page. Like, let's just do
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
So we're doing the things. And it was probably about another week later. And she calls and she said, okay, my friend has a friend who is going to sell. Like,
Yeah.
they moved and they didn't want to sell their house because they weren't sure that they were going to stay out of state. And now they're 100% decided and the renters are moving out. So, she said that her friend will let you call and talk to her. So that's what happened. Like, so I got the referral. I reached out to her. We came to an agreement. and we were able to go and see the house. It was incredible. And we were looking at a couple houses at the same time because, the clients flew in from out of state. They were that determined to be in that neighborhood and they really wanted to see it. So they came. We actually took like a caravan. We had family members. It was quite the adventure. And there ended up being like this neighborhood gathering in this little cul-de-sac. And the neighbors are like introducing themselves. It had all the feels, all the magical events. They one of the things they specifically mentioned that was really important to them was the trees. They really had to have trees. Well, from the back porch of this home, you just overlook the whole valley full of trees, a community area that they had cleared and turned into a park for the neighbors. You could hear the creek running from their house. You could just hear it rippling by.
Wow.
They walked from their backyard through the neighbor's backyard, who says, oh yeah, all the neighbors walk through my yard because it's the easiest access to get to these walking trails and the creek and stuff. And it was perfect. It was magical.
You are like a miracle worker. That's amazing. So how long did it take?
So I want to say we were between 6 and 8 weeks of looking.
Wow.
And,
find something that specific.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it? What's normal? Like, what's the normal time to help somebody find a house that they fall in love with?
That is actually pretty normal and typical, I would say. Usually the difference is that the first time I get introduced to a client, I say, okay, let's talk about the areas you're interested in. What cities appeal to you? And we'll match everything to your price range and your comfort level of payment. And then I say, how many bedrooms is a minimum? How many bathrooms is a minimum? Does it need a garage? And then we start looking at available homes on the market. We start emailing back and forth. We have, this communication, and then we go out and look. But in all actuality, it isn't a horribly long process, not like people would think. And I think the reason why is because if you're going to go look at houses in person, you've been looking online for a good year or two. Like you didn't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to buy a house. Like, let's do this. Yeah. You've been stalking on the internet for a long time. And so you've got a really good sense of like, these are the areas that I'm interested in. This is the style of house I'm interested in. So then it's my job to make that magical pairing, do the negotiations, get you through the process. Now, that being said, we haven't signed on the dotted line because you have to go through that process, which involves you as well with all the loan details, matching them up to the appropriate loan process. So, we had to go through inspections. We went through inspections. We went through all the details. There were some surprises. There always are. Nothing that was a deal breaker. One of their biggest concerns, they had ripped down this beautiful deck before they moved, and then they never replaced it. So that's on their dream list of things to finish, because it does give them that beautiful view. And it's sad that they ripped that down, but it was they were moving, they didn't have a chance to fix it. So, that's very normal and typical as well. No deal breakers. And then we came to appraisal, and we had some sticky issues there too, because in today's market, homes, the values are all over the place, and it's difficult to get the value to come in at agreed upon price. And we successfully negotiated through that as well. But I thought it would be fun too, to turn it around on you and give you a chance to tell us a little bit about loan possibilities and programs and how you help clients.
Good question. A lot of people think they have to have 20% down to buy a home. That's just not the case. We do so many 3% down loans, you'd be shocked. This family in particular, because they just finished their residency, they chose a physician loan, which is a really great loan. It's just for people who have a medical degree as a doctor, but great product. It fits their needs. It's just a great situation. But, a lot of people are saving money. I have so many people come in and say, I've been saving for 3 years and I finally got my 20% down. I'm like, oh man, you just lost a ton of appreciation you could have had. We should have bought that house for 3% down 3 years ago. You'd have come out ahead. So that would be my advice, is to anyone who's thinking about buying a home, Don't make up the roles. Come find out what they really are. Because the odds are you can get something a lot quicker and cheaper than you think you can.
Yeah. Well, I just have to say, Scott, first of all, thank you so much for entrusting your referral to me. And I 100% entrust my referrals to you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that we have as a team to guide these clients through the sticky real estate process, because it can get really hairy out there. But I feel like both of us really have this belief in homeownership and the worth of our clients. And we know that we're doing a good thing for them, because a homeowner is worth 57% more than a renter. And so it's wealth building, and all the feels that the house have, like all this magic of people and houses matching up. I love it. It's one of my most favorite things.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking such good care of my friends. You are amazing.
Thank you.